Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to everybody's favorite console gaming league known as Gem Gaming. I am your main commentator tonight, along, with our color commentator, Mike Sayer. Mike Sayer, say hello.
Hello, everyone.
All right, today we have a very entertaining matchup to start our week 2 on a Tuesday. Now, I don't think I've ever had an Overwatch match casted on a Tuesday, relatively, because nobody ever plays them, because everybody likes the weekends, and then we usually have 4 matches crumbed together. But now we have Solar Super Silly, who are coming off a almost reverse sweep against Moonlight Majesty in a 3-2 loss, but looked very, very strong. Melby, as always, putting in the work on the Sojourn, and HFH coming off of a loss against Barbert, I believe it was, in a 3-1, but a very strongly contested when they started to get warmed up towards the back end. Mike, do you have any X factors that you want to show out and maybe give a spotlight on to before we start this match?
From what I saw, I am going in completely non-clue. I feel like it's going to be a very good tank matchup and DPS matchup, but we'll see what the supports decide on running.
Alright.
We are also playing on a new patch, might as well too.
Yes, we are. Both, I think, Ball got a super decent buff, so Ball might be shown in more. However, in this draft league, a lot of characters have been utilized, and it's been very interesting. There hasn't been a set meta from any team here. Just a lot of just comfort picks, and it looks like just proper, just like really good play from a lot of the teams. So more or less, we're gonna get the readies from the teams, and we'll be going in here in just in a moment.
Also, we had both the readies already.
Okay. The readies. That is Mr. Mike Sayer avatar.
Great.
You hear the click clacking? It's just me making sure both teams are good.
Oh god. And we're starting out on Ilios as well. Interesting. So, got one team running with Diva, Junkrat, May, Moira, Mercy. While the others running Ramatra, Cass, Tracer, Mercy, Kirika.
Yep. And excuse my Bloodborne fandom here. Ramatra to me is Rom, so if anyone gets confused, that is who I'm talking about. Is the big beefy Omnic himself, but as the gates are going to open here from both points, we're going to meet in the middle. Myth on the Tracer leading the way for the blue side, which I believe is fucking S cubed, excuse me, and to the red side is HFH. So we're going to get our first little brawl here in place. The ROM is finally out in full force. We're going to see who's going to be able to get first picks in. Melby will drop first blood. Pneumatics gets it. We're going to get a scrap thrown on the point.
Also contesting the point.
Rom on point on his lonesome. He's going to get some solid punches in, but going to get little to no value here. And first point take is going to be for HFH, going to get it cleaned up. Just more or less, it was just a quick pick, and it was a take there for HFH, dropping Melby relatively low and just finishing him off to the side.
Also, Melby came back on the Sojourn, realizing Cass isn't going to work.
They're already at almost 40% ult charge overall. We're going to get a...
Watching the Tracer, 90% to a pulse.
Pneumatic's going to lose mech here, and basically about a half less.
Junkrat!
And that's the big stick, and that's going to be a mech lost and a Junkrat lost. Finally, the scrap on point. The ROM finally going to be in full punchy. The Valk's going to drop. Mercy on a res. Myth will come back. The remech kill's going to get Evo Rabbit. That's one down for the blue side, which is S cubed. Curtis is going to drop from a headshot via Mercy Glock. And now it's just going to be a scrap on point, but it's going to go screaming back the other way as Rom's fisties and 2 railgun shots by Melby are going to get some cleanups here onto the side of S cubed, and it's going to finally be a cleanup. The DMAC yet again. Pneumatics cleaned up. Daniel on the ROM muscles getting it done.
They climbed to almost 65% just from that.
It was a big stall.
They do have 3 ults coming online. They have the Diva Bomb, which is 10% away, Blizzard, and Coalescence. But the other side has pretty much all their ults except for Valk. So let's see how this goes.
Myth is actually going to drop there in the back line. Excuse me for bouncing camera angles around.
That's a huge pick.
Diva's got little to no DM. About to push onto this point here. Curtis gets dropped. Nuke on point, nothing doing.
But the point has flipped to the other side.
And we got an overclock from Melby on the outside. Gonna try to see if he can get anything. Moira falls ever so low, but no finish from Melby there, getting him within an inch of his life.
One hit. He gets hit back up again.
Alright, looks like
Myth going in for a pulse, gets nothing.
Daniel's about to get ready for the Rommel. His punchy fist is gonna clean up Liv Moss, but then the freeze is gonna get him. And oh my god.
He's so low.
Should not have survived that, but the mech's going to be taken, and the tire's not going to get anyone. Rom here with the fists of justice, finally going to get it cleaned up by his Omnic brethren, and just like that, S cubed is going to get it.
Now they only have 2 ults, technically 3 because Pulse Bomb gets online very quickly.
Now what I'm thinking here is they held Rommel. They might do rush with the with Rommel so he can catch up to them in case they retreat. So that would be an interesting combo to look at.
That is true.
But nothing for the side of the red team. However, they're coming up on a Valk, which could be good for a longevity fight. However, they're going to need to build to a Tire or a Blizzard. But just like that, Icicle pick. And just like that, it's a 5v4. The res is coming out. The res will be gotten.
There goes Valk.
And there goes
Rommel.
Rom putting in the work on the May. Interesting target. But he's in the back line now. He's just kind of causing chaos on everyone. He gets Junkrat. He's finally going to get the cleanup onto that.
Myth finds 2.
Finally, this everlasting Rommel cleanup's finally going to come through from S cubed. Liv Moss will drop. 8 ticks to go. And it looks like HFH will not get back in time. First blood is going to go to Solar Super Silly.
Also, holding the Kitsune that whole time.
I just didn't use it.
Didn't have a reason to use it.
It was an interesting decision to kind of hold it. But there was a couple times you could have used it. Maybe because they're throwing it across point towards that last fight. There's a couple of things. So more or less just stingy with the ults there for Curtis, but doesn't come back to bite him here. Now we got Well, which is every Roadhog's favorite map. And
Lucio players.
And Lucio. Anyone environmental. You even get your rare Pharas. Alright, we're going to come in from the blue side here. Daniel's going to be leading the charge.
Myth swapped onto the Junkrat, but we have a full chain for H running Orisa,
you got to remember,
Orb, and Pharah with the Lucio Mercy.
Yeah, you got to look here though. The sustain is scarcely not in the favor of H for H here with the Lucio Mercy. Now, if we're talking Season 5, this was meta. It is not here, and you're already down half of your support, which is little to no sustain now. You get them back, but now everybody's kind of just getting shot. So we're going to have to see how they take it here. It's a very slow pace. Pneumatics is going to push in onto the Junkrat into small room. Daniel will get cleaned up by Mister. And now pushing the other way, Lucio with a boop onto Myth, and there we go. Let the reigns begin as the boop fest continues. We got one environmental so far. Mercy's going to get
Mr.
cleaned
finds
up.
another.
That's another solid kill for Mr. Getting his bang for buck on the pharmacy combo. And just like that, it's going to be first proper take here for the side of H for H. However, do not pull out S cubed just yet. However, they did switch to the soldier and to the sojourn, so they do have the hit scan capabilities with the railgun and the pulse rifle. So let's see how they get it in. They're going to be here walking right up into the choke point. Daniel's going to get a spear for good measure, but Myth's going to get picked up by the person he's supposed to counter. Mister with another solid kill, and there we go. Raining Hellfire. That's a duo kill. Myth's going to come back, but Melby will be dropped in the process by Doug, and only Myth remains, and he's going to have to get out of there before they get another stagger kill, which
Also,
he will.
Mister hitting the pick onto the soldier before ulting was actually very huge as well. With that soldier out of the fight, the Helix cannot come in to help deal with the barraging Kara.
Yep, just solid value there.
Yes. But they do have Valk. Both teams have Valk, but Melby has Overclock.
We got the pressuring on. Excuse me for this weird high ground angle, but they're just going to be bouncing around. Let's see if finally Super Silly can get through this choke point. Oh, someone almost got picked there, but everybody's going to stay healthy just for now. The Valk's going to come out. This ends now, but he's going to get dinked by the Torb. Myth's going to be the one that gets the res back. 76 and ticking upwards for HFH. Absolute travesty for Melby.
They used Overclock.
Overclock is now gone just because Doug got sticky with his Torb rivet gun. And now, just like that, everything is going right for the team who had the questionable comp at the beginning. Knight's going to drop, but Curtis will fall also. Doug is finally out, but now it's going to be... Okay, it's going to finally be taken back onto the side of Super Silly.
Oh. Super Silly has 3 ults in favor of Heroes for Hires 2, being the Sound Barrier and the Barrage that can come on very fast.
Yeah. And it's a matter of, are they saving the sound barrier for the barrage? Are they aware that there's a barrage? There's also... Well, actually, excuse me.
I want to see the sound barrier in response to the soldier visor.
Yep. Yeah, the soldier visor. Are they going to use the barrage with it to keep him up during it? Excuse me, I can't construe that the other way. But we have soldier playing on the off angle. Myth gets picked first.
There goes the res.
No res for the blue side, but there's a Lucio gone, and there's the vital sound barrier out. It goes along with the dink, but the res is going to bring them back. So now we're at dead even again, 5 apiece in this scrap. Mister will fall. Mister will fall, and now it's going to have to be a cleanup here for the side of Super Silly. Are they going to use the Rom ult? Now they're pressuring Rom, aware. Ever so low, but Daniel's gonna stay up. That support play was almost picture perfect. Surge comes out, nothing doing. The visor, everything's being popped. It's a party!
Myth gets res instantly with no visor left.
Who's gonna get it though?
Mister finds Melby.
Melby's gone and Mister is gone. I think it's a 4-on-4 now for the scrap. Rom now has to punch his way to victory for Super Silly.
That is so low.
We got a tank battle going on the offside. Arissa's gonna go in retreat, but she will fall. The Lucio will fall in suit. And just like that, finally the cleanup here for the side of Super Silly. Gonna get it done. Mister falls into the well of misery. 2-0 map take for Solar Super Silly.
Oh, that was interesting. They could have pulled Heroes Ferrari could have pulled that one out a little bit.
It was a very, very close 2 maps. However, yes, I feel like everything just went Super Silly had the better team comps, but I would not count out Heroes for Hire, who had just as good as a round. Just need to synergize a little more. Maybe swap up the support picks. But next we're going to be rolling into Rialto. We'll take a moment. We'll make sure anyone needs to be replaced or otherwise, and we will be right with you here. So if you hear just random clicking and stuff like that, that's just us getting that set. But don't go anywhere. We are just getting that set up. We are headed over to Rialto, which is one of my personal favorite maps.
And mine as well, coming as a Doomfist / Lucio player. Environmentals are super big for Rialto, especially the first point.
There's a lot of different playstyles that you can see on Rialto. I've seen Dive, I've seen Brawl, I've seen Rush. You can kind of get away with anything. It's just more or less who does it better. But at the end of the day, snipers typically reign supreme. You got your Ashes, Cass for more of your little mid-range poke. Soldiers are pretty good, but most importantly, you get Widows and Hanzos who can just take over these games if played right. Also, Fire does really well in second point, I've noticed. So it's a lot of that.
A lot of everything.
Yep. So we're gonna see how this goes, waiting on any subs or otherwise from both sides. Alright. Solar is gonna be running with what they got. We'll see what HFH does, see if any stylistic changes will be met on the other side. Did you see anyone who took over in that match for Super Silly, or was it more or less just kind of like everyone had their own individual turn? It felt like.
It's a little bit of everyone took turns popping off. You had Dan, who used the Rommel to force back the opposing team. Mel finding picks. Evo, Curtis finding picks, healing their team. Myth standing out, finding openings. So yeah, I feel like it's a little bit of a team effort.
So there we go. The swaps have been made. So the sets have been made. We're going to see more or less if both sides are good to go. Liv Moss will switch from support to tank. In this situation, Cable Doug will go from DPS to support. Bruin will step in while
Mr. stays in.
Yeah. And Mr. just goes up the thing. Pneumatics will take his seat. We're just going to more or less see how it comes out here. Oh, there we go.
If you were to see like one composition on this map, what do you think these teams would run? Like what we saw on the first map.
Definitely with Melby and Myth's Arsenal. I've seen them a couple games already. And I even had played against Solar. I think it's just they can do the poke. They can do the poke. They have the strength for for range fights, but they're also not afraid to brawl. But if I would pick here, there's a lot of LOS. There's a lot of angles you can take. So I'll probably see like an Ashe Mercy with possibly an Ana. Possibly an Ana, but if you're going to be more specific, you'll probably see Kurikos. However, I don't think a lot of people have mastered Kuriko to the idea.
Yeah. Especially with her nerfs from the past 2 season patch notes. She's a very difficult support to play as.
Yeah, so it can definitely switch on you, however. it's not the end of the world, because we have seen teams win without Kariko. However, Kariko is still relatively strong. Excuse me for looking through my options. I need to make sure I don't hit the pause button during the game. Okay, so that's my pause button. Just X, that's weird.
We have one ready.
Sugar, that's H for H. Okay. And
Yeah,
that's both sides.
you.
Yep. So more or less here, just going to be see who has the better poke or who has the better comp. It's probably going to end up coming down to a mirror, however. A lot of these teams like to run similar playstyles, because if I've learned anything is ego runs supreme in console Overwatch. So you're going to probably see similar S comps. However, don't be surprised if you don't, because these two teams are, not to be randomly off-putting, very mild-mannered. I like these guys. These guys are nice.
They have good attitudes. They have a lot of good players. I've played against some of them before, and definitely they are a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, it's just, good guy Melby. What a Chad.
So 2 different styles of poke.
Okay, so you got the Sigma poke with Ash Mercy. They're running the Mercy Lucio again. I don't like that.
With the Torb.
Wait, with the Torb. Popping the Sim. However, you have on the other side very, very different story.
Yeah.
So you have
with the 76, Ash with the Mercy, and Kiriko.
So we're gonna bounce around character POVs here, so make of it what you will. But we're gonna start here on the Myth Ash, see if you can get any value picks. Oh, TP. Oh, good barrier to start off. It's gonna drop fairly low, however. Said the style of poke is very interesting, but both sides very interesting. Both have a turret user and an Ash, so very similar setups. However, very different. We have Ash, and I think Kuriko got lit there. Now they're just gonna be falling off the high ground. All right, so Mr. and Melby or Myth will be taking over, and Myth will win that 1v1. The better of the Red Riding Hood Ashes. Ruin absolutely getting insane value off of the turrets. Going very unchecked. Didn't get a lot of ult charge.
Looking at the ult charge, Evo's almost at a Valkyrie, but Mr. is 40 away from Bob.
Alright, big burns here. Myth getting tremendous value. He spotted his adversary. Mr.'s already gonna drop. Absolute value, and just punchy Rom getting absolute value. And the cleanups are coming in for Dan. Just like that, a solid hold. It's a minute and a half off the clock for H4H.
And we have a swap already. Live and Master, or Mr. swap. They have the Mei and Orisa, and Ruin swaps as well to the Torb.
So we're gonna have Liv Moss, which I think is probably one of my favorite names on Overwatch, and Mr. to make the swaps, as you did state, on the Orisa and the Mei. So they're running another modified poke. However, this one's a little more aggressive because Mei has the walls. So we're going to see if they're going to try to catch anybody out of position.
Ooh, almost got Myth.
Myth almost got caught out. Orisa, it is not looking too good. Curtis will fall. Solid pickup so far. Myth will drop. Good cleanups here.
That's 2 down.
From the side.
Oh, they broke res.
Cleanup, Evo falls. Penguin Mei.
That is an interesting opportunity to sound barrier. Now they can come back and pop Rommel or pop Bob, and they don't have any defensive tools like this.
Alright, the big freeze, and Bob gets melted. However, Ruin's turret will go down, and a click queen up. Doug will fall, but Curtis will also. So both a support down for each side. Mister's just getting into the face of these of the front line of SQ.
Mister has Blizzard.
And he has Blizzard, so he has the win condition, but he's gonna get cleaned up by Myth there. Myth and Melby are putting tremendous pressure on the front line. And it's actually looking really good here. You have Visor, you have Rom ult, which is basically the worst nightmare for an overtime push. It's a free fight win because you have to stay on point, or you just feed the Rom, or you lose the game essentially. So it's basically a lose-lose. And Daniel's been very conservative, but very good with his ult. So we're gonna have to see. It's a full flanker on the outside. Let's get a POV from this angle.
Dynamite. That's a good dynamite.
Oh, and Mercy's gonna trickle her life away. Myth with absolute dinks coming in, looking so good.
Blizzard. And Daniel's frozen.
Mister
on
gets.
the cart though. So Myth finds a third one.
I don't think Liv Moss is gonna do much there. Yeah, just like that, Myth broke that open on his own. 2 picks before the fight even started, Mike. That is absurd.
It's wild.
On two players right there. I think it was there's the Mercy, which was Knight, and then Ruin, who was on the Torb, got cleaned up, and then it was over.
But also, Myth had the Mercy pocket, so Dynamite does a lot more damage.
I think it's chunk damage it does originally is like 75 on tick if it hits you.
And with the
could be off.
With the damage boost, it does a lot more than that.
Yeah, because the damage boost isn't exactly ×2. I think it's like something really strong. Like, it's absurd how much damage a damage boost actually does do. Because you would think that's simple, like, oh, double the damage. It's like, well, Mercy's a doctor and she likes to cause pain. So we have my favorite combo of supports, which, there's no reason why I like it. It's just funny. Eminem, Mercy, and Moira. And then you have the other side for the attackers with Mercy and Kuriko, which is a more stylized, base support lineup.
Yeah, and I want to talk about the DPS, right? The Soldier 76 and the Widowmaker on attack versus the Ashe and Torb on defense.
You have
Torb
the long range versus mid range.
Yeah, Torb's going to be also a lot stronger on defense here.
I see Melby here. We're gonna get a little Melby cam because he is always a joy to watch. Just like that. Just like that. I just want to get a Melby cam, and Myth's already breaking this game wide open. He drops the Mercy down to basically a tick of her life.
That's the Sigma too.
And just like that, Mister's gone. You've got to be kidding me. There's nothing more strong, but just like that.
Okay, Liv has to take care of Myth.
Moss will remind him that he is just in fact a Widow who has less health now.
Finds Mister again.
Mister drops again from the Widow. This time, body shot bandit. Myth becomes Curtis within an inch of his life there, but the Suzu saves himself. Melby will fall. Liv Moss is basically on an island by himself. Daniel's ignoring him for some reason, and this fight is bogged down into a freak show. I don't think there's a proper comm going on. It's just words, and someone's attacking someone. Myth will fall. Ruin gets dinked yet again by Myth before he falls, but Myth's back again.
He has Inforesight.
What is happening in this game?
The Liv Moss also does have Flux. Melby finds some Moira.
Doug will fall. Mister will fall. Now Melby is the pop-off. Mercy's within an inch of her life. Myth's gonna clean her up. Sig's in the air. It's duck season, and he's just gonna drop within an inch of his life. He's gonna get cleaned up. Melby's got 3. Make it 4. It's a cleanup fest. The Moira's are gonna stay there, but she can't do nothing. Skill orbs can't kill a whole team.
Holy.
Look at that cleanup by Melby, absolutely, with the pocket in tow.
Curtis almost killed the mortar, by the way.
Yeah, just muscling through. Daniel gets the cleanup.
Oh, and here comes the Rommel.
And the Rommel is just gonna do absolute work.
Mister finds a pulse kill, but it's not enough.
It was just absolute chaos. Super silly. Up 2-0. That game was just ran by the DPS. Daniel gets the play here, but my word.
The ending right here. And also, Rumble does not stop in this patch. It is slowed down to a max of 20 seconds, too.
That was anarchy. But we're going to get a full swap for both sides. We're going to team swap names. And then Solar Super Silly will go to your right. Because, there needs to be 2 teams with S's all over their names.
Of course, man. Of course.
And then you have H for H to your left. Out, and then Curtis, and then all colors switch. So you go.
They're only swapping one.
Yeah. Yep, so Super Silly Thout will come in. Cinematics will go Spec Blue. Everybody else will go to Spec Red.
That was a crazy DPS fest that we just saw.
And we're going to King's Row, everybody's favorite map. If you hate it, please seek help. It is.
King's Row.
It is an amazing map. It is where the Rhine Brawl started. If you remember, if you're a nut like I am, the good old Rhine Zarya, the anarchy
Ryan
that
Zarya,
was.
Double, just the run-up brawl. It was so much fun.
No, I don't like Ilios, personally. Yeah, you can vote me worst caster, I guess, but
Every game. Honestly, I wouldn't be sad with Lee Jing or King's Row every single game.
yeah, I can work with Lee Jang and King's Row every game. Ilios, though, I can't. Ilios he gets way too boopy. I don't like Nubani either.
And they're putting in mini meats for Daniel. Okay.
Mini meat N for Daniel.
And they're gonna have Kid on tank, Maddox and Mister on DPS, Moss, and pretty much the same support.
Somatics. What is that? Mini meat will be mythed out, Curtis. Can we have that? Now, where the heck? Okay, Mister just left. Then I was lost.
Probably had to go do something, or had to get off.
We have a bromance going on in the chat for any of you reading.
Ilios can change for Nabani. Nabani's an interesting map.
Okay, Ruin is playing damage now. Noted. Score is 2-0 for Super Silly, which is your red team.
We have an R in the chat for one side.
Alright. So hip is for red, so red is ready. I'm waiting for H for H2.
And there's the R.
Alright. Now for the second straight week, H for H on their last leg.
Can they pull off what they pulled off in their first match? Can
Which
they
is
make
a
the
singular,
comeback?
which is a singular map win.
Can they make the comeback?
Yeah.
But also, I do think we're going to see a lot more Widow on this map. Just because it's a longer range sight line, and there's a lot more angles that a Widow could play from. So let's see what they decide to run out on.
You got the, obviously, like I said, sides is flopped. Solar on the right for red. H for H on the left with blue. Now we're going to check out the attacker side. Good old Ryan. And just for the other side, it's one of Reinhardt's most...
Okay.
Oh my god, they on.
This is an interesting side for blue. They're running the Reinhardt Sim Torb with the Moira Zen. That is interesting. You don't see that very often.
You do not.
You usually see that more with Sigma or Ramatra. But we have the Widow.
We do, which is like a staple for opening picks. If you remember Surefour in Overwatch League Season 1, absolutely blew the top off the Spitfire to start off King's Row.
The Bamboozle.
The Bamboozle rotation, AFKing and spawn. Come on, Myth, everybody's watching. What are you doing? What are you gonna do?
Right.
Absolutely nothing. Ooh.
Also, I like to say they're running the Sojourn with the Merce or the Lucio Kiriko. So they just want to brawl in their face.
Oh, and
there goes the Reinhardt.
Oh, Widow getting ready to take heads off.
He's trying to look for that Zen.
Zen will not die. However, he will be spooked into playing that natural cover now.
Oh, that is so low.
Melby now attempting to get it charged up. His fighter Sojourn misses the dink. Gets back into it, charging up.
Kid is so low. Shatter
comes in, and the cleanup goes. And just like that, the bodies fall. The rind is diffed, and the point will be taken. However, Curtis does drop. Myth is very low.
They still do have the two turrets, though. They have the one center and the one...
And a skill orb kills Myth. It's just Minimate. However, he'll get some reinforcements on the point, and they're going to push it. So they will contest it.
They came back on the Lucio.
We're gonna get some support play going in. Clean up. Curtis will fall. Melby falls very, very low. Minimate gets cleaned up.
The shatter.
The skill orb for the Sentry. Liv Moss won that point for the sole fact that skill orb got it. Absolute value there from the Moira skill orb. Now me, Moira connoisseur, almost 100 hours on the character, knows a thing or two about skill orbs, and that was one of them.
Oh, here comes Rush.
Takes a point-blank shatter to the face.
Comes out.
But just like that, every button is clicked under the sun for Super Silly. And just like that, first point will go to them.
Their way in. Oh, Liv Moss.
Liv Moss will not live very much longer, as he will be taken back to spawn.
I don't know if the Sim or the Torb is technically the pick, but as long as they're making sure the Rhine doesn't have their shield, that is free damage coming in.
It is. It's an interesting. Usually, you see the Reaper as what Super Silly's doing. That's usually like a traditional thing. You have a hit scan esque in Sojourn, and then you have Reaper for Coast Corner, especially for second point right here. Reaper is a absolute menace on these corners. But Sojourn, Melby taking ever so low, waiting for heals. His Kariko is AFKing for some reason. Melby falling ever so low, and the Shatter comes out. God. Mini Meat taking Doug for a ride. However, Doug will respond back with his own, and the Myth Blossom with 3, and only 2 people stay, and they're the only ones hit with the sound barrier, and they're gonna get cleaned up, and just like that, that's a team kill.
Yeah, that was a questionable sound barrier. Usually, a sound barrier once your tank is like on critical, but the tank just died instantly from the Death Blossom.
So this is the problem now when it comes to Moira. Moira is a very good healer in chaotic fights. However, when you get into the longevity fights, Kariko absolutely thrives with the Suzu. It does so much more than an orb.
Nobody's one hit with that torch.
Now we have Wall. Molten Things.
Oh.
I have a nickname for it. I can't say it on stream, but it's gonna get cleaned up. Mini Meat will fall.
Shatter. Okay, they shattered a winning fight. So now they have nothing.
They have Moss, bloodthirsty Moira that he is.
On the side of Heroes for Hire, they used everything to make sure that they could stop.
Yeah, and they're gonna have at least 4 coming into this next fight for Super Silly. We get a Ryan point of view here going in. Ruin gets cleaned up. Booped in and away, though, is Mini Meat. But finally, the chaotic nature of spin to win. The Shatter comes in. The cleanup, but Melby will fall. And another canceled charge for Mini Meat. Just playing the debate game, and then a boop to kill off the Symmetra.
A boop kill. Then you get booped off.
It's just a boop kill, not a boop kill. You know?
Here comes Kitsune, and Myth.
And then they cancel each other out. And a Blossom.
Gets a boop kill off the map on the Torb.
And a proper boop kill comes through. The Reaper Hellfire Shotguns reign supreme. The new leader of Overwatch is in, and his name is Myth. Triple to clean it up.
They have 2 minutes and 30 seconds in the time bank. That is insane.
35.
That is insane.
That is respectable time on King's Row.
It's respectable to finish the whole map, too.
Absolutely. More or less, they were getting their off the rockers a bit in like a fight or two, but they finally stabilized, and it seems they started to click heads, start to get cleanups. Melby and Myth doing what they usually do, and just finally getting that value.
Okay, so we're opting into the same thing we ran, only this time Myth's playing the Hanzo.
Yes, sir.
Instead of the Reaper. Okay.
The better Shimada. That's what I've been saying. No one listens. Better Big Brother syndrome.
He's a very good hero. Oh, wait. What,
what do we got over here?
No.
What do we got over here?
They don't know where they are. They don't have a window to look at where they
are. The ultimate disrespect in respectful manners. You know, because it's just an angle. Oh, wait! Look where they're coming from!
Wait, I think they know. And the team knows.
They knew!
Oh my god, the take falls so low. But Moira and all that chaos.
Hanzo gets the cleanup. The Big Brother syndrome's kicking in. Myth putting the work in. Melby helping in on the back end. Moira getting killed twice in that fight.
And can I just say that they are running 2 completely different comps. One with the Mercy Moira, the double N, and the Lucio Kiriko. With the Torb and Ashe instead of Sojourn and Hanzo.
So the sneak didn't go the way they wanted to, however they still come out on top.
They want to try it again. Oh, they're baiting him. They're trying to bait. Oh. Okay, they swap off the Mercy to Brig.
Alright, the turret's actually cleaned up. It's actually giving Melby a bit of an angle problem. Shatter comes in. They went to a Brig here. Interesting. We're gonna do some Brig gameplay for you guys. Brig on to the right. Melby will fall. And just like that, I think HFH will finally get on to point here. Yes, they will.
But they do have ults coming back. They can just recontest this.
Yep, and the ult, the Shatter comes through. Absolute chaos. And it will thrive for the side of Super Silly, getting those cleanups.
Wait, Maddox found their Lucio.
Maddox did find Lucio, however, Lucio the fastest one to get back. He's already spawned. So it's gonna be a race of can the team get there before the Lucio can set back up, and well, Lucio is already back basically.
Oh, they have Overclock and Kitsune Rush. This is gonna be a shot fest for Super Silly.
Turret.
But they
Turret gets cleaned up.
But Heroes for Hire, they do have almost 4 ultimates.
Kitsune Rush. Foul gets cleaned up. So that's the weak link, and I think they've identified that. However, everyone falls ever so low on the side of Super Silly. Only with Kiriko, but no Lucio, no problem.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if they found the Lucio first.
Yeah, Lucio went down first, and just like that, everything went wrong. Touched the Spawn Doors challenge, and Curtis succeeded.
Oh, this is sneaky.
You got both DPS playing height. Turrets dropped. Oh no! And just like that, Ruin is sent back to spawn, no questions asked. And the cleanups. Liv Moss will fall now. Golly, Myth is a menace on the Hanzo. Big Brother Syndrome, no more. Absolute menace with the bow and arrow. And I quote from Hanzo's own voice lines, "Guns make it too easy." Any percent hard speedrun Overwatch, Myth 100%ing it so far.
They also they did find the Sojourn, by the way.
They did.
So I think they're just gonna...
Won't core on the outside a point.
Oh no, cancel this Shatter.
Oh no, and Lucio gets caught and that Mercy falls very, very low. And another sound barrier coming in clutch for Super Silly. And there's just nothing that they can do. An absolute demanding 3-0 from S Cubed. Oh my.
Not be denied this week.
Ever bringing it ever so close last week against MM. Finally finding their footing.
Play of the game.
It was, I think this was just no disrespect to HFH, just not a team diff in the best way. Just the comps were better for Super Silly, the play was better, and the pops and the frags were so much more consistent for the side of Super Silly. I'm gonna give it away to you, Mike. Who out of it for Heroes for Hire? Obviously not doing too well, not winning, but Heroes for Hire. Who's your player of the game for them?
I would have to say Ruin. Ruin made it a challenge, tried to force Myth and stuff to play comps that they didn't want to be played. They were trying to make it work, trying to find opening picks. So I'll give it to them for that.
Alright, and for the side of Super Silly, you could probably pick the whole damn team.
Very hard to pick one.
Very hard to pick one, but if I'm gonna have to do it, just of constant frags feeding off each other, it's gotta be one of the supports. I'm gonna get DPS. For me, it's gotta go to Myth. I think Myth
did. I agree on Myth. Myth popped off on multiple occasions, finding more than one pick at times, where it wouldn't be able to find more than one.
Yeah, just absolute. He also that actually made the swaps for HFH a lot harder to do anything. And then
he started on the Widow, and just didn't was not able to get challenged, was not forced off the widow, and lived free on the high ground.
Yep, and so an absolute just menacing features for the side of Soldier Super City. Definitely a team to watch out for. However, up next we will be back with you guys on Thursday when the Phantom Knights and I think it's Russian. I think they are Phantom Knights
Yes,
versus
Phantom Knights and Russian.
and
Phantom Knights
Rushing
and
will
Russian.
go head to head, and Mike and I will be back here for another night of some voluptuous Gem Gaming Overwatch. If you heard a loud crack, that was me kneeing the crap out of my microphone. I apologize in advance for the echo that you just heard. But any follow up mics for tonight?
Um, I feel like Heroes for Hire could have made a comeback if they had like more chemistry, more communication. But other than that, it was a good one from both teams, and I really enjoyed that.
Yep. So, GG's everyone that came out tonight. Thank you all so much for stopping by. I've been your host, the man with 1,000 names, Open-Eye Ghost, anything in between. And we will see you guys in the next one. Peace out, and have a good
Bye
night.
bye.